All right. Now, the festival this year is your, what, 23rd?
23rd, yep, 23 years of craziness.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Where did you get the idea for it 23 years ago?
my father was a Scottish singer and a vocal coach. So he knew all the big Scottish names, Kenneth McKellars and Andy Stewarts and Peter Morrisons and the Alexander Brothers and all the rest of these people. And that was part of my life growing up. And Dad was involved with the old Delco Scottish Games out in Devon Horse Show Grounds. He was one of the trio that started it. And it was right after Hurricane Agnes. I'll never forget it. I thought my mother was going to kill him because it was a pretty expensive venture. And Dad started that. He had been organized in a lot of other Scottish organizations and with the music. And because of that, I sort of fell into it. And there's a Scottish folk singer named Carl Peterson. And he came to me and he said, I'm from Scotland, I'm a singer. So I said, well, come on out to the horse show grounds. We were selling, East of the Hebrides was a vendor at the time. And I said, come on out and we'll have you sing. And he came out and we started writing down all the songs that people wanted to hear, and we came up with a cassette. We actually cut a thistle out with scissors to make this cassette. And we started going around to the other events and plopping Carl up, and he would get up and sing, play his guitar. And eventually some of the festivals said, could you help us get our music? It was just about the time that Scottish events were starting to bring in music. Unlike the Irish events that have always been centered around music and dancing, the Scottish ones were always around Highland dancing and particularly athletics and pipe band competitions. So we really got this thing going. And I eventually took over the Delco Games years later because I didn't show up at a board meeting, and I got a note or a phone call saying, you're now the president. So in any case, I was working with the New Jersey Heritage Committee, and on the way home from a meeting, I saw what was it called? The George Washington Expo Center at Willow Grove. And I went in and I said, can I rent this place? And they said, yeah. So I came home and said to Karen, we're going to do our own festival. So we put it together. It was a heck of a weekend. My van broke down on the turnpike on the way home while it was setup day. The day before was absolutely beautiful. The day of, it snowed. It really, really, really snowed. The place was packed. We were thinking we'd have to tell people to go out the back door just to get them out of the room. It was so much fun. At the end of the weekend, I went to Big Frank. And I said, Frank, can we help you close up? And he said, no, we're tearing it down on Wednesday. So they tore the place down. Judge Kelly from up in Warminster, he came to me and said, I know where you can rent. And he arranged for me to rent the Naval Air Station on Street Road. So I went up. We had a great festival. It was a lot of fun. And I went to the captain afterwards and I said, can we arrange to rent it next year? And he said, nope, it's on the hit list. We're closing down. So I went to Valley Forge and I said, here's my track record. And that was 21 years ago. So we've seen all sorts of things. We saw the convention center when it turned into a casino a couple of years ago, and the ceiling fell in 2 weeks before our event. And then we moved it to March, and we got out there on the Thursday, and there was no entrance. They hadn't finished the walkway in. Ceiling tiles fell on the heads. It was incredible. But the people stuck with us, and so here we are.
That's great.
Yeah.